Hi everyone. It's one of those Mondays where, even though I have a lot to do, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot, like scheduling the week's soul mails, uploading a whole bunch of YouTube videos, communicating with the bank on my business account, thinking about whether I want to upload a solo date video today. I am not putting too much pressure on myself to get up early. Last night's dinner live went all the way up to 10 p.m. So I did sleep late, but personally, I'm not a fan of waking up early on Mondays, especially, controlling my own time and working for myself. It gives me the opportunity to start my day whenever I want to. And sometimes I'm a morning person and sometimes I'm not. So today is one of those days where even if I do wake up at 12, I'll start my work at 2 and then I'll continue to do that until 7. So personally, I prefer 6-hour work days. Thanks, Bam Bam. Personally, I prefer 6-hour work days compared to 8 hours. And I'll usually do like 3 to 4 hours, take a break, and then do another 3 to 4 hours. And that 6-hour work day, I'll probably do it 3 to 4 times a week. So when you start to reevaluate your life, if you're working for yourself, you determine how many hours is ideal for your life, which days of the week are ideal for your work. And if you don't want your week to start on Monday, then it doesn't. Hi, Pranal. Honestly, one of the main reasons also, I got up today and then I noticed that my business account isn't working. So I need to access the money, right? So I call the bank and I talk to them and they're telling me about FICA compliance. So when I go through the emails, I see, okay, I did receive FICA compliance email. Let me follow these steps. The density of hair at the top here is very low. So let me follow these steps. Then I go to the website and it says sign in, internet banking, know your customer, this and this reference code, whatever I tried, it failed. So I call them, they tell me, they give me an email address of the relationship banker. So I send the person an email. But most of my morning from like 8:30 was me putting together those documents. Notice of incorporation, memorandum of incorporation, company registration, core 14.1, core 14.3, core 14.3a, this and that, shareholders resolution to open a bank account, shareholders disclaimer of who's the shareholding, and anyways, sent those documents. Hopefully my banker approves, because the last time I did that, it took a week. It took a whole week to share those documents with the relevant people. So I doubt she's watching this, but I think I was very, detailed in my email. So all you need to do is press forward. And another thing, when I wake up, Warren, you asked what you had for breakfast. I didn't have for breakfast. Thanks, Cam. Usually, what I'm going to eat for breakfast determines how excited I am to wake up. So, I don't wake up for work. I wake up for food and then I do work after. So, the food that I wake up for, it needs to be enticing to me, especially on a Monday. So, I did make oats yesterday. There's oats in the fridge. I think I have one banana left and I do have peanut butter. So if I want a repeat of that breakfast, I could definitely make it, but it's not enticing to me at the moment. And that's contributing why I'm still in bed. When I decide, sometimes in the past, during my extremely budgetary challenged days, when there's nothing interesting for me to eat, not there's no food, when there's nothing interesting for me to eat, there have been days in the past where I don't wake up that day. I consider it a fast day. I stay in bed and I wake up the next day. So food to me is so important. What happened? I'm just having a lazy Monday. The way I handle my days is I have a peak day and I have an off-peak day. So the way I live my life is that often I'll determine whether the day is a peak day or an off-peak day. If it's a peak day, it means I'm probably doing 6 to 8 hours of work. That could be editing videos, uploading videos, sending emails, creating something, editing a landing page, updating a document, or so on. If it's an off-peak day, I'm not trying to do too much. Maybe I'll upload 1 or 2 videos and then I'll rest for the rest of the day. And in that way, my entire week has become flexible. So if I want peak days to be Saturday and Sunday, then it means I'm working on Saturday and Sunday. If I want off-peak days to be on Monday and Tuesday, it means I'm not doing anything on Monday and Tuesday. So I love having freedom and flexibility of my time and my schedule. It makes me feel like I'm in control of my life, and yeah, that's the life that I want to live. Thanks, Abby. One of the misconceptions about me is that I don't work, and those are often from people that discredit and deny my skills, my experience, and my capabilities. So those people don't consider service-based work. They don't consider coaching to be work. They don't consider that I've spent so many hours and hours writing ebooks, creating courses to put out digital products that can sell while I sleep. So I often don't feel the need to debate those people because it's not worth my time. But I feel comfortable and secure with who I am. And even if people have the misconception that I don't work, it's their problem to deal with. I know that the money is coming into my bank account every time somebody buys Solo Journeys, every time somebody buys meditation for beginners, every time somebody buys my meditation course, meditation for stress and anxiety. I get that 100 Rand, 350 Rand, so on and so on, from multiple sales all the time. So I don't feel anymore that, or rather, I feel that when I do choose active work, like when I choose to put my energy and investment into something, it doesn't have to be anymore out of desperation. It can be out of me intentionally choosing to do something that aligns with what matters to me. So the work that I do, for me, it must be meaningful. It must be helping people, and that's why I chose coaching to be that. Thanks, Cherry. Yeah, that's why I chose coaching to do that. But from what I've seen, the way for me to live the life of my dreams is through what I've been doing, which is to use my platform as marketing for my own business, for my own services, and for my own products. And honestly, there are many people out there doing that. So what I can tell you is that there's a greater return on promoting your own stuff than on promoting other stuff. So when it comes to creating your products, creating your services, and marketing them, do that. It'll start off as a side hustle, and then over time it will build and develop into something great. And it's not that everything that you put out there will be successful. There will be some things that don't sell, but then the approach that I take is that, create it for your ideal customer, and when your ideal customer finds it, great. But if you don't create it out of fear that it won't sell, you won't have the opportunity to validate whether that product specifically has demand. Heineken, where's the roti roll? The roti roll was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. As you can see, my duvet is unraveling, and the way that I sewed the curtain tells me that I do have skills and capabilities to sew this, so maybe I should consider that. Yeah, I do. Okay, I just noticed when I was going through my OneDrive, my cloud, where I keep all of my files and documents, that the last time I did a cleanup of that was 2022. So when I was trying to find those business documents to send to the banker today, going through that folder, it's crazy. Like, some files are not named correctly, so I can't really tell what this is. And if it's named Core 14.1, I don't really know what it is. Is it Memorandum of Incorporation, or is it company registration, or is it shareholders declaration, or whatever it is? So I also feel today that I will go through the OneDrive, and I will be doing a bit of spring cleaning just to have things be more clear. Where do you do your eyebrows? I do them myself. I do them myself with the tweezer. Okay. Sometimes I go on live to give me motivation to wake up. I feel like talking to my audience, can give me that jolt of, yes, there are things going on in the world. And yeah, I also have potato curry. I'm not sure if you were present at dinner live last night, but the potato curry that I made, it's number 2 on my list of mind-blowing meals. Mind-blowing meals, number 1 on mind-blowing meals was the vegetable stew. Number 2 from yesterday is now the potato curry, and I know that it needs to have habanero chilies. It cannot have Thai green chilies. It cannot have bird's eye, the red chilies. It must have habanero, and it must, you know what, the recipe, I'll put it on YouTube soon. Cash, I've been financially stable this entire time, and as you've seen, when I created Solo Journeys, which was my first product, I didn't really know if it was going to be successful. I didn't really know if it was going to sell. But what I did know was that people resonated with my Solo Journeys, and that gave me an opportunity to put something out there to support them if they wanted to go further. And then everything I've put out so far has always been a response to what the audience is asking for. So if they're asking for meditation guidance, hey, here's a meditation ebook that I wrote last year that I didn't release because I didn't have an audience. Okay, here's a meditation course that I actually created last year, but I didn't release because I didn't have an audience. So you're talking about authenticity? Okay, here's an ebook on authenticity, and here are learnings that I put into practice to be able to authentically express myself in my life, to be more in alignment with my true authentic nature, and to be unapologetically myself. Here's an ebook to guide you on that. Hi Rect, hi Adrian, Satnarayan. What advice can you give to a what? What I can say to you is, figure out your life. Figure out your life. I think many of you are following a template of a life model that was dished to you by somebody that you grew up around, or maybe you watched your parents live a specific type of life, or you grew up in a community where people show you how to live life. But life really is infinite in the ways it can be lived. And some of you stopped thinking about ways to improve your life. You might have just accepted that it's the best it's going to be, and now that you stopped applying your mind to it, the opportunities, the possibilities, and so on, the potentials, they're not really unfolding for you, because you might have made a decision that this is the best it's going to be, this is all I'm going to get, this is all I'm capable of, and so on. So when I mentioned yesterday that, like, if I did a job application for a United States company, that my salary expectation is $200,000 a year, somebody in the chat was really outraged at that. And I thought to myself, like, how can a stranger on the internet determine the worth and value for the job that I would be doing that really is valued at that price? And it told me that if you determine your worth and value to be low in monetary price or in life expectation terms, that's what you're going to get. And you often, like, sometimes, let me talk about salary expectation. Sometimes the salary expectation that you ask for, it's really benchmarked to people that you grew up around. So for instance, if the people you grew up around only ever earn 6,000 Rand a month, when somebody asks you how much you want as your salary, you're going to ask for 8,000 because you think that's a lot. But when you realize that the price is not for your history, it's for your impact, then you realize that Sean on a daily basis is making a $200,000 per annum impact, and therefore the price matches the value, not just presently but in the future. So elevate your expectations from life is what I can say. Some of you are expecting low things, you're expecting less, you're expecting nothing. And some of your standards are so low that you tolerate abuse, you tolerate violence, even if it's not physical, you tolerate mental violence, you tolerate manipulation, you tolerate somebody berating you because your standards of life are quite low. So when you start to elevate yourself, you stand up for what you believe in, you ask for what you want, you don't need anybody to agree with you, you don't need anybody to validate whether you're deserving of what you need. And you live life like somebody who deserves existence, because many of you are walking out there like you don't deserve life. And it's evident based on how you talk about yourself, your shoulders being slumped over, and so on. Just the ways you speak about your suffering, your problems, and your challenges shows that you have low standards for yourself and you have low standards for your life. And maybe, I guess there's a point of your life that did originate from your narrative, from your background narrative. But then there's a point where you say, despite all of this, this is what I've been able to do. This is what I've been able to achieve, and this is what I've been able to receive. So that's what I can say on the advice. Have higher standards for your life. Where's the potato curry? User 666, you might have noticed in the caption of the video that I said, join me for dinner live. I make sure to always put in the caption, like, is this breakfast, lunch, or dinner? So that the audience knows whether the video is relevant for the current time. And if you're looking for potato curry, it was last night. But if you want to see me eat the leftovers, maybe I'll do that this afternoon or this evening. But I'll make a video, I'll let you know. Hi Desiree. Okay, I'm gonna get up now. As I mentioned, I've got to clean out my OneDrive. I've got to schedule the week's worth of soul mails. I've got to upload all of the YouTube videos. So I've got a busy day, but I don't try to be like everybody, you know. Oh, you need to wake up at 4 a.m., start the day off right. No, I'll wake up whenever I want to, and then I'll work whenever I want to. Hi, Simona. Yeah, well, you know in future that, like, if the title says join me for dinner live and it's 11 a.m., I'm definitely not live doing that specific thing. Also, I'm not going to make a promotional live, you know, hey, join me for lazy morning, unless I really was, let's say I was doing like 420. If I was doing 420 plus morning routine, plus shaving my head, plus, you know, cooking breakfast, whatever. If I was really making it an event and a moment, I would have made a video for today. Okay, I'm gonna get up now. Thanks for giving me moral support. I think one thing you recognize when you start to control your own time is that you got so used to other people telling you what time to wake up and what to do in your day, that when it's up to you, you need to be your own motivator. You determine when you wake up, you determine how many hours you work, you determine what you work on, you determine where you're investing your mental energy, effort, and action. And for some people, that can be scary. It can be scary to take responsibility for your life. It can be scary to manage your time. It can be scary to not have somebody push you and tell you what to do. Why is that scary? Why is it scary to not have somebody to tell you what to do, to tell you how to live your life, to tell you all of those things? So don't get too comfortable with somebody telling you how to live your life. Thanks, Prashol, and I also love my hair. Oh, you're talking about this? Actually, I've noticed in some of the videos, you know, the beard, it's really something. It's really something. It's beautiful. What a beautiful young man. Yeah. Okay, let's get up. Let me know in the chat, what are you doing? What are you doing in your day? Let me know in the chat so I don't feel like... I feel free, actually. I feel free, and it's a new feeling, it's a new sensation. But okay, take care. It's a new feeling, it's a new sensation, but it's very much necessary. Getting a new house today. Well done, Cam Breezy. Well done, well done. Do the sage ritual. As you know, whenever you enter a new space, you want to cleanse that space from any dead, stagnant, or negative energies. And a way to do that is to do smudging with sage. So the way I do it is with your right hand, you just imagine a vortex pushing out of energy. So I hold the sage in this hand and I, in circular motions, move throughout the house and imagining the vortex of energy pushing out whatever's dead, not moving or stagnant. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, sometimes when we make decisions out of franticness, it's not necessarily the aligned or the right decision. So I'm glad you took time, patience, observation, deliberation. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna wake up now. But first, stretches. Stretches. And yesterday I was watching a movie called Tragedy Girls, but I was feeling so sleepy around 11 because I finished my live really late. But Tragedy Girls is an interesting movie. So I couldn't find it when I wanted to watch it somewhere in 2018 or something there. But I now found it, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I don't know if you also do stretches when you wake up, but I feel like they're important. Hi, Don. Okay. Let's go. Things are looking like a mess. Oh, and I had the most interesting dream. It's so interesting moving on from people and still dreaming about them. Haven't seen people in 15 years, still dreaming about them. But not in a romanticizing way. Like the theme of my dreams specifically was that there's a magic book. There was a magic book with some kind of incantation in it. And it allowed me to move things with my hand. So it just so happened that the high school friends were in that dream. And one thing that I said to one of those girls was that they treat you like that because internally you feel like you're less than. I said that to the person, and I feel like I was actually talking to myself. Even though I was saying that to that girl, they treat you like that because you come across as less than. That's why they're, shitting on you or whatever. I feel like that was a lesson for me. Where's my oat breakfast? Hi, oh, it's Lihle now. Okay. Hi, Lihle. What brought about the change in name? Thanks for the heart me. By the way, if you want to be an active member of my fan club, simply send a heart me. I'm embracing my African side. Beautiful. Beautiful and wonderful. Next is to do your ancestry test. Because I've seen, like, did Sierra do an ancestry test that told her that her ancestry originated in Benin, and then Benin gave her a citizenship? Like, oh my God. India, I'm ready for my citizenship. I think I am Indian. I think so, even though my features are ambiguous. Maybe Tibet, Mauritius. I could be from anywhere. Brazil, wherever I am, give me a citizenship. To be honest, most of my friends are African. I love African food too. What is African food? Tell me, what is African food? I always find it interesting. Like, Africa is such a huge and diverse continent that it comprises so many different nationalities, countries, cultures, ethnicities, and so on. What exactly is African food? You don't have to answer that, by the way. You don't have to answer that. Okay, I do sleep with my rose quartz and a handkerchief just for emergencies. Nigerian cuisine, Zimbabwean cuisine. Yeah, when you say it like that, Zimbabwean cuisine. I remember in high school we read a book called Nervous Conditions, and Sadza. Sadza and something else. Mukhodu, tribe stew, Moroccan cuisine, tagine. Tagine is Moroccan, right? And I learned recently from solo traveling with Tracy Ellis Ross. By the way, watch that. If you're into solo journeys like I am, watch that show Solo Traveling by Tracy Ellis Ross. They mentioned that tagine is actually the pot that it's cooked in and not the name of the food itself. Sadza is your pap. Yeah, there was sadza and there was a green something, green leaf something. These are my sleeping socks, but I was overheating. Remember, I had that dream and I overheated. I also recognize something. When you know you're dreaming, you wake up immediately. So here's something to practice, and I've done it before. When you know you're dreaming, stay asleep. Stay asleep and continue to explore that dream. But this time, you are now conscious that you're dreaming. It's happened to me a couple times. It's called maintaining your awareness, but it's a beautiful thing. It's really beautiful. Spinach, I love it. Sometimes we refer to Swiss chard and spinach as the same thing, Hypri, but they're not. Swiss chard is not spinach. What color of hoodie do I want to wear today? I want to wear the yellow. By the way, I uploaded a new solo journeys video yesterday. I went to Oriental Plaza. So go check out that video, and if my solo journeys inspire you to want to take more courage, more risk, live your life as an adventure and explore more possibilities, I wrote a book to help you. It's called Solo Journeys. You can get it through the link in my bio. My yellow hood smells of castor oil. It really does smell of castor oil. Why? Because I do put castor oil as a post-shave. You done making the potato curry? Shane, I made the potato curry last night. So if you want to see me eat the leftovers, you can come back sometime this afternoon. But for now, if you want to watch the recipe, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go subscribe in advance, then you're going to do that. I'm glad, Lishi. I'm glad. Solo journeys, it doesn't mean okay, in a relationship, you definitely do need me time. And that doesn't mean you're rejecting your partner or you don't want to incorporate them or so on. It means balancing. So go on that trip. As for me, I've started to see that the account is Sean Marbier on YouTube. As for me, I've started to, as a meditator, sometimes your view of yourself subtly changes, especially when, I don't know how to explain it to you in terms of expansion of awareness. But the way that I've been looking, the way that I see myself, my self-image has changed ever since I went no contact with the family members. My self-image has changed. It's as if I was perceiving myself energetically connected, and now I perceive myself whole, full, and true me. So that was beautiful. That was really beautiful. And still continues to be beautiful right now. So many cords. Looks like everything was charging. When I crave a croissant in the CBD, I know that I cannot get a croissant that's not 40 Rand or higher. And for me, that's tragic. It's super, super tragic that why are things premiumly priced? Like, I don't feel like that croissant is worth 40 Rand. So when I buy it, and it feels like a luxury, it feels like a treat. I want bring back budget-friendly croissants. And I would be able to get a budget-friendly croissant from Woolworths, but the Woolworths in the CBD, actually I saw a different one. And I know it is. I saw a different Woolworths. I need to go check out whether they have chocolate croissant. And not a chocolate croissant that's 40 Rand. People do evolve with time, embrace that journey too. I love that. I'm looking forward to my 50-year-old self. Like, what does Sean, I mean, if I am who I am right now, what does 50-year-old Sean look like? Really, I'm looking forward to meeting my future self. Okay, I got my jacket in hand. Here's the laptop. All of the cords are also in hand. So I'm now downstairs. As usual, I'm gonna boil water for... Why are there specks of white? Fat cook. I also watched some guy was reading a Zulu phrase to Nicole Scherzinger and he completely butchered it. And then I realized, like, I know how to pronounce it. Does that mean that pronunciation of African languages is a skill? That it can be learned? Does it mean that I did learn that? Okay. Sometimes I underestimate just the skills that I have. Like, if you can pronounce Zulu words, almost fell off my couch. If you can pronounce Zulu words, well, spotted dick is a dessert. You know about that, right? So many skills. We have so many skills that are so underrated. I don't think pronouncing African languages is an underrated skill. I think it's an important skill. But when you see the amount of people that don't have the skill, it really, I think personally, I'm talking about myself here, that there are things that I can do that others cannot. And I always looked at them as like, oh, no big deal. No, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. Jeremiah, hi. Hello. I don't know which of these mics is charged now. We're underrated. Don't downplay your skills. Don't allow others to downplay your skills, because they will gladly downplay your skills. And it's all because of you. Hi, Clinton. And it's all because... Okay, I'm gonna wash my face and get going. Some buff guy is trying to co-host with me. Not today. Not today. Thanks. Thanks for the Go Popular. I don't think I'll be recording any video today. Thank you. Have a good one too. Sorry. Today, if I eat the leftover potato curry, I probably have to cook dinner again. Hi, observer. So if I do cook dinner again, if I do cook dinner, I want dal. So I'm gonna soak it now. Thank you. So this is the dal. What new look? I'm just doing a cup. With potato curry slaps. Try adding butternut. I have not seen butternut recently. So I soaked it. I just added some water here, and when I choose to cook it later, beard and all. The beard's been a thing for a long time. Do you have a BF? No. So I'm gonna let that soak. It doesn't need me to do anything actually. I'm gonna, habanero, because the habanero chili is what I got. I'm gonna use it for every meal until it's done. That's how I do it until I have variety. Yeah, and I have potato. I'm gonna put the potato into the dal. There are Indians that live in the CBD. Indians, where are y'all selling y'all's roti? Because all I'm seeing is, I don't even see biryani. I live, Michaela. I live. Don't ask stupid questions. What do you do for a living? I fucking breathe. What food lovers did to you? They told me that I'm not welcome as a content creator. They didn't really say it in so many words, but if I can't record there, there's no purpose for me going there. Apparently Carnita's burger slaps. Try it sometime. I haven't seen burger in Mall of Africa. You eat? Yes, I do eat. Eat and leave no crumbs, right? Am I right? Also, Carnitas and Mall of Africa only got the Bani Chow recently. By recently, I mean a couple of weeks ago. There was no Bani Chow there before. Lens. You know what? Maybe in August. Maybe in August, I'll ask around for Lenasia taxi. Or if somebody can tell me where to get that taxi, then I won't have to search for it. Observer, who are you? Do we know each other? Do we know each other? The first thing I do is wash my hands. Maybe their menu is limited. Okay, maybe it is limited because they don't have like a full kitchen style setup. Randburg. Tell me, if I take a taxi to Randburg and I get off at McDonald's, is the Carnitas close to that? You know what? I will live close to a Carnitas in my next season if it's not international. I will live next to a Carnitas and I'll probably never cook. I'll be eating delicious vegetarian food. I mean, the only thing I'll need to cook is what I don't find there. But Carnitas' menu is so diverse in terms of plant-based. Check Google Maps. It's not close enough. Okay. My international season. If I lived here for 30 years, can I live somewhere else for 30 years? And then only come back here when I'm 60. Anyways, don't be Carnitas is affordable, never disappoints either. Yeah, the food is flavorful, it's always well seasoned. I don't really care if it's frozen and defrosted in the store. It's hot and it still tastes good. Randburg is scary. It looks like it's so far away from everything. That would be the only obstacle to me choosing Randburg. It feels like it's far. Are you going out? If I had a car, which I intentionally don't have a car, but if I did have a car, I think I'd be one of those people that goes to get coffee every morning. The things you do. What? It says my live has been restricted due to alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. Excuse me, I'm just brushing my teeth. It's okay. I won't restart the live. Okay, take care. Sending positive vibes. Sending positive vibes. It's close enough to everything that matters. Okay, I'll think about it. Thanks for bringing that up. The tap water smells like pool water, like super chlorinated. Should I call you Likhle or Rishi? I'm confused right now. Thanks for the gifts. Likhle, okay. Appreciate the gifts a lot, thank you. Go for it. Discover your true self. Discover who you were before they told you who you were. Doing me, I'm glad. I'm doing me. Whose song is that where she said, where the person says I'm doing me? Is it Addison Rae? Thanks for following. It sucks that my live is restricted right now. Stupid content filter. No, but there's no alcohol, tobacco, or drugs in this live. I was just brushing my teeth. Sometimes I'm holding a mic and it says your content has been blocked for smoking. I'm like, I'm holding a mic. How can the technology be so advanced and so stupid at the same time? The most important thing for me to do today is to clean out the OneDrive. What is this? Clean out the OneDrive. Okay, I do think it's time for a nail trim, but let me enjoy that my body's growing. I'm doing me. There's a lyric from a song where the person says, I'm doing me. What's that song? I'm choosing me. I'm not choosing a man. It feels, thanks Radia. I wonder if, as a boy child, if you grew up in a female household that's always talking about men, that you might develop homosexuality because because everybody's into men. I wonder that's a thing. Somebody do their PhD on that and let me know. Is your attraction for men actually not something you were born with, but something you were conditioned into by growing up around females that spoke about men all the time? They would even say things like, don't trust a man. Okay, what am I? Men are worthless. Okay, what am I then? You hear these things as a boy, a male child growing up in these types of households. And in some ways, they are telling you about yourself. Okay, let's leave that for another time. It's too much effort to unpack that right now. It shows how words hold so much power. I agree that they would talk to me like I'm a girl. And they would not even know that they're doing that. Showing me that they don't see me as myself. They see me the way they want to see me. It's an illusion. You are created with purpose. Yeah, I'm so glad that I think there comes a point in life where you realize that you have a soul's purpose, you have a divine plan, you have all of these transcendental things operating in your life. And it's not really about, maybe the guy just wanted to fuck and then here you are. But that should not define who you become. That should not define who you are, how you think of yourself. My origination was not the womb. The womb was the portal through which I entered. But my origination, it's not really an origination because spirit doesn't born and it doesn't die. It's infinite. So when you start to look past the reasons that they had you or didn't have you or didn't want you or did want you or never, whatever, when you look past all that, you see that you've got a purpose here in physical reality, and it's not based on what your parents thought or what they want or how they felt or what they think about you. And that's kind of sad for so many that seek to, like so many unloved boys think that when they finally meet their father that something significant is going to change. And then you meet them and you realize that, oh, they're just another person. And maybe they're actually have terrible characteristics. And perhaps your life was better off without them. And I wish, those boys saw that your purpose doesn't start at being acknowledged or validated by the father or the mother. It starts by you choosing what are you going to do with this existence. You have this existence. What are you going to do with it? Where you started was definitely, it influenced how you got here, but it does not determine where you're going. And I think I'm one of those people that has shown that where you started, even though many of you didn't know the tragic circumstances around my life, it has definitely influenced a lot of things, but I'm glad that I have, elevated above what the trajectory was showing. The trajectory was showing he's destined to die in suicide, but I'm glad to have, risen above that. You learn about, what is depression? You learn about, how can the mind turn on itself? When you feel so unloved, that's how. When you're grasping and searching for love and you've never known it and you're searching for it in all the wrong places, and love yourself. There's an infinite source of love at the depth of your being, in your heart, and you're not going to feel it if you don't meditate. So I'm so glad that I discovered that. And love restores light to your eyes. Let me make that clear to you, that you've seen yourself when you felt loved versus when you haven't felt loved. That somehow you're like bright and you're radiating. And that's a very important lesson. That if you don't have sources of love around you, you must tap into it from the eternal storehouse, the source of love, the true source of love, which is the infinite God consciousness within your heart. It's somewhere here. That if you put your attention here while you're meditating, you feel it start to open up. And on the inside, right now, I can feel organs. But as you meditate, it starts to open up and it starts to feel like empty space. But not empty, filled with warmth, power. You can get love there as well. If you can't find it in people, you can get it there. Oh, that's so beautiful that God, the infinite self, the infinite consciousness, the infinite spirit, gave you an infinite source of love within yourself. How beautiful is that? Amazing. And sometimes we don't recognize that. When you go near somebody and you feel like you are in love with them, the feeling of love is actually inside you. So your proximity to them opens this. You going closer to your loved one opens this. It's not that you're getting love from them. It's that whenever you go to in proximity of something that you love, it opens the channel of love inside yourself, and that's what you're really feeling. So all your feelings, I think we already know this, all your feelings already experience internally. But there's just one thing about love, that we're always searching for it outside ourselves. But truly, honestly, truly, when you observe yourself, you see that you have always ever felt love inside yourself. You think it's caused by something outside, but really it's not caused. It's opened in proximity to something. And that proximity could be your visualization of a deity. It could be your contemplation of your spirit. It could be literally things inside yourself. And that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. So I think I'm gonna go get my work done. The life of an entrepreneur, you schedule your own time, you motivate yourself, you plan things, you make sure you do it, because if you don't do it, you are the one that sees the consequences. You don't have anybody pushing you, you don't have anybody motivating you, but at the same time, you don't want those things because you chose a life of independence, freedom, and this. What else do I need to take? Do I want to take? Don't know, but I can't help it. I love the way you feel. Follow for more content if you love Sean, if you love what he talks about. If you feel an energetic match with me, then stay. But if you feel energetic misalignment, then you owe it to yourself to be on your way. Sometimes we force ourselves to stay in situations that are not good for us. And sometimes that might be somebody you don't like. So go where you like. And I kind of recognize this final lesson before I leave. I was watching The Wailing last night. Remember, it's like 2 hours and 30 something minutes. somewhere around the 1 hour 50 mark, which is significantly through the movie, I thought to myself, I'm not really enjoying this movie. Yeah, I'm not really enjoying this movie. Am I really gonna spend the next 30 minutes just for the feeling of completion? No. It's feeling now like a waste of my time. So move on. Move on. Immediately. Don't think twice about it, just move on. When you know enough about what decision you need to make the decision. Sometimes we're overthinking it, sometimes we push ourselves through, sometimes we wanna push for something you don't care about. It was really, really good, and you're gonna find the recipe on my YouTube channel, Sean Marbir. Me searching for coffee. Spicy rating, I had 3 habanero chilies and it wasn't spicy, so that was tragic. That was super tragic. I think that with habanero, the heat, I feel it on my head, I don't feel it in my mouth. Habanero, it wasn't ghost pepper, it wasn't anything like that, it was habanero. 1.5 million in Scoville, it's looking like you're overestimating the heat of these chilies. This was not 1.5 million. It wasn't. I think also as they ripen, they sweeten, and the spice perhaps diminishes in a way, so maybe that's a thing. Okay, I've got to go do my work. It was under. It didn't feel hot. I could feel sweat dripping down my head. But when you experience heat, you often feel it. You often expect to feel it in your mouth, right? And it wasn't like that. It wasn't hot like that. Okay, take care. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day and come back later. That single chip. You know what? Send it to me. Send it to me or let me know where I can get it in the CBD. Other than that, take care. Have a wonderful day. Come back later. Maybe I'll be eating potato curry leftovers. I might get some pap and all also that. Take a lot. Okay, didn't know about that. Okay, we'll check it out. Have to go now. Have a productive day. Or if your day is resting, then rest easy. Don't feel guilt about it. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.